Thoughts reveal a person, but only the right question brings those thoughts forward. A good question doesn't aim to expose or manipulate someone. It allows you to understand them and navigate their presence with awareness. When a question is asked with intention and simplicity, people stop guarding their identity. They respond from instinct, from routine, from the place where their genuine beliefs live. And in that moment, a quiet form of truth appears. Not dramatic or loud, but steady and sincere. Some minds reveal caution, others ambition, others softness, others turbulence, and some reveal a calmness that changes the way you feel around them. Understanding someone's mind isn't about uncovering hidden secrets. It's about noticing where their attention lands, what they value without saying it, and what their heart protects without announcing it. One question can show if someone avoids responsibility. Another can show whether adversity strengthens them. Another can show whether they honor themselves enough to honor others. And you don't need a long list of questions or complex psychological tools. You need 5 questions that open a person instead of shutting them down. Questions that show what they stand for, what they fear, what they hope for, and what they turn away from. These questions don't force honesty. They welcome it. And when people speak from that unguarded space, something important happens. You stop guessing their intentions and begin seeing them clearly. No masks, no mixed messages, no confusion. Stoicism teaches that clarity protects you. When you understand someone's nature, you stop attaching yourself to illusions. You stop falling for inconsistent behavior. You stop investing in uncertainty. You begin to walk more steadily, not because people become predictable, but because your understanding becomes stronger than your doubt. Some people are kind only when life goes smoothly. Some stay composed only until pressure rises. Some speak of loyalty yet fail to act on it. Some appear strong but collapse at the first obstacle. Some talk of love but can't be honest with themselves. These 5 questions will show you who stands in front of you, not through pressure, but by simply letting them reveal themselves. So as we begin, stay present, stay open, and listen between the lines. Because once you learn how to ask intentionally, you won't wonder who someone is anymore. You'll see it unfold naturally and unmistakably. Now let's start. Question 1. What do you feel you're running from? A person's truth is rarely found in what they present. It's found in what they avoid. And few questions reveal more than this one. When you ask, what do you feel you're running from? You're not accusing them. You're giving them space to speak from the deepest part of their mind, the part most people never explore. Everyone runs from something. Some avoid old wounds. Some avoid responsibility. Some avoid their potential because success frightens them more than failure. And some avoid the truth of who they are when no one is around. This question opens the doorway to someone's inner patterns. It reveals what they fear, what troubles them, and what they haven't healed. The Stoics believed freedom begins when you stop escaping your inner storms. Epictetus said, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." When someone answers honestly, you see how much mastery they hold or how much they still avoid. Pay attention to their response. If they answer clearly, they possess self-awareness. If they hesitate, something remains unaddressed. If they joke, they likely fear vulnerability. If they grow defensive, they're still protecting old pain. This question is powerful because it shows how someone deals with struggle, not the struggles they show publicly, but the ones they hide. Some will say they run from disappointment, showing they've been hurt repeatedly. Some say they run from people, revealing broken trust. Some admit they run from their own mind, showing they battle their thoughts. And some say they're not running from anything, which often means they're running the most. When someone reveals what they run from, you understand their emotional landscape. Are they avoiding accountability? Avoiding effort? Avoiding healing? Or avoiding the version of themselves they want to outgrow but don't know how to face? Their answer shows whether they confront life or hide from it. Whether they approach challenges with strength or avoidance. Whether they move toward growth or repeat the same emotional cycles. This matters because relationships, friendships, and family dynamics are shaped by how people face themselves. Someone who runs from emotions will withdraw without explanation. Someone who runs from responsibility will break their word. Someone who runs from healing will repeat harm. Someone who avoids conflict will leave you confused. Someone who avoids truth will not build something genuine. But someone who confronts what they fear becomes grounded, reliable, capable of patient love and steady honesty even when life grows difficult. You deserve to know which kind of person stands before you. When you ask this question, you're not trying to expose them. You're trying to understand their emotional terrain, so you know how to walk with them or whether walking with them is wise at all. The strength of this question is that it brings clarity without confrontation, honesty without pressure. A person can only answer from their current awareness. And if their answer feels shallow or distant or overly polished, that is still a truth. Stoicism teaches that understanding begins with accepting what someone reveals without twisting it into what you hoped it meant. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the truth of what is given." Listen with that mindset. Hear their truth without altering it. Their answer tells you the path they walk. Now you can see whether it aligns with your own. Reflect on what you notice in others and in yourself. Let this clarity guide your steps and type it now. I see the truth. Question 2. What do you do when your feelings and your values disagree? A person's mind becomes visible through how they handle inner conflict. Not the conflicts they have with others. Those are easy to hide behind, but the quiet conflicts within themselves, when their feelings say one thing and their principles say another. When you ask, what do you do when your feelings and your values disagree? You're asking them to reveal their moral foundation, their discipline, and their emotional maturity. Most people follow their emotions more strongly than their values. But Stoicism teaches the reverse. Emotions come and go. Values remain. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought devoted to what is right." This question uncovers whether a person holds to integrity or abandons it when emotions push back. Listen carefully, because this question does not reveal surface truths. It reveals the structure of character. Some will say they follow their feelings. If so, understand they will act from impulse. Their commitments may shift with their emotions. They may love intensely one day and withdraw the next. Not because they lack goodness, but because emotions drive them more than principle. Some will say they suppress emotions to follow values. This shows discipline, but also consider whether they practice avoidance instead of intelligence. Suppression can create quiet tension that grows over time. Others will say they pause, breathe, and choose what aligns with who they want to be. This reflects emotional wisdom, a balanced and grounded approach. Their answer shows how they will behave when things become difficult, not when life is easy. Think about what this reveals. When someone feels anger, do they react or reflect? When tempted, do they stay loyal or follow impulse? When insecure, do they choose honesty or manipulation? When afraid, do they retreat or stand steady? These choices shape everything: friendships, relationships, trust, and stability. You deserve to know whether someone chooses temporary emotional comfort or long-term principles. This question also shows how they treat themselves in moments of conflict. A mind that attacks itself becomes unpredictable. A mind that understands itself becomes dependable. Some will say they blame themselves for feeling conflicted, revealing a tendency toward self-criticism. Others will say they create space to understand both sides, revealing growth and self-respect. And some will say they don't know, meaning they haven't explored their inner world deeply yet. That isn't a red flag, but it shows how much self-awareness they still need to develop. Stoicism teaches that strength is not the absence of conflict but the choice of virtue despite conflict. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Their answer reveals whether someone lives by such a compass. It shows whether they are guided by emotional weather or by steady principles. It shows how safe they are, how consistent they can be, and how they will treat you when life becomes complicated. And if you want to understand a person's mind, you must understand how they navigate their internal storms. Reflect on your values and your daily choices. Commit to your direction and share it now. My values guide me. Question 3. When life hurts you, what do you learn about yourself? This question looks beyond pain and into identity. It reveals who a person believes they are when comfort disappears. Many people discuss what happened to them, but few can explain what it taught them. When you ask, "When life hurts you, what do you learn about yourself?" you're offering a mirror, one that reveals whether someone grows through difficulty or shuts down. Pain itself teaches nothing. What teaches is reflection, honesty, and self-awareness. Some people never slow down long enough to learn. This question uncovers a person's inner philosophy, how they interpret setbacks, how they process failure, how they understand their own wounds. Stoics believed pain was not an enemy but a message. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." Pain highlights what needs courage, change, or healing. But not everyone sees it that way. Some say pain taught them not to trust, showing they carry walls instead of wisdom. Some say pain taught them to expect the worst, revealing fear shaping their vision. Some say pain taught them nothing, showing emotional avoidance. Others say pain taught them resilience, patience, or clarity, showing growth. This question reveals whether someone collapses under hardship or rises with understanding. It shows whether they see themselves as powerless or responsible for shaping their own story. Those who learn from pain communicate rather than react. They heal instead of hide. They know hurt can shape them without defining them. But those who refuse to learn become unpredictable. Their reactions grow stronger than their intentions. Their wounds speak louder than their words. You're not just listening for answers. You're listening for worldview, how they see themselves, others, and life when comfort disappears. Some speak with heaviness, showing unprocessed pain. Some speak with clarity, showing transformed wounds. Some speak with uncertainty, showing they have never questioned their patterns. Each answer maps their emotional habits, how they trust, how they respond, how they move. This question also reveals whether someone practices self-examination, a key Stoic practice. Seneca said, "The mind that examines itself is strengthened." Reflection builds emotional strength. Avoidance builds fragility. You deserve to know which one stands before you. If they learn they become distant, they need patience. If they learn they grow cold, they protect themselves through detachment. If they learn they grow angry, they battle inner storms. If they learn they grow wiser, you're speaking to someone who transforms rather than breaks. Their answer protects your heart and informs your choices. Because how someone responds to pain is how they respond to love, responsibility, conflict, and to you. This question reveals not just their past but their trajectory. Are they healing forward or hurting forward? Once you know that, you understand them far more clearly than they realize. Remember that every challenge strengthens you. Recognize it and write it, "Now I grow stronger." Question 4. What promise do you always keep to yourself? A person's mind becomes clearer when you understand the promises they never break. Not the promises they make to others, which are easy to abandon, but the private commitments they make to themselves. These reveal who they truly are beneath every mask. When you ask, "What promise do you always keep to yourself?" you're asking about the foundation of their character. You're asking what remains steady when life becomes unstable. Because someone who doesn't keep promises to themselves cannot keep them with others. Someone who breaks their own word will eventually break yours. Integrity begins with self-loyalty, and Stoicism teaches that discipline starts from within. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That is an inner promise. Some people answer easily. Some hesitate. Some avoid it altogether. And each response reveals something important. Some will say they promise never to give up on themselves, showing inner strength and determination. Some promise to treat others kindly, showing a heart anchored in compassion. Some promise never to return to who they used to be, showing growth and commitment to change. Some say they don't make promises to themselves, revealing a lack of inner structure, a drifting sense of direction. Others admit they often break their promises, showing a need for healing and discipline, not judgment. This question uncovers a person's level of self-respect, because making a promise to yourself means believing you are worth keeping it. Some people simply haven't reached that belief yet. Pay attention to what they mention: habits, values, boundaries, dreams, or survival. If their promise comes from pain, they're still healing. If from fear, they're still protecting themselves. If from growth, they're rising. If from purpose, you're speaking to someone with an inner anchor. This question also reveals a person's future, not by prediction but by showing how they move toward it. Those who honor their promises build discipline. Discipline builds steadiness. Steadiness builds trust. Trust builds a life that does not collapse easily. But those who break their own promises live in emotional debt, behind in healing, growth, and self-connection. And if they're behind with themselves, they will be behind with you. Don't judge their answer harshly. This question is not a test. It is a window. It shows whether they honor their word or are still learning how. Stoicism teaches that strength is when actions align with values. Marcus Aurelius said a person's worth is measured by the worth of what they pursue. And what someone promises themselves reveals what they pursue in private moments. Their answer reveals their identity, their direction, and their reality. Honor yourself by keeping the promises only you can make. Write it now: I keep my promises. Question 5. What kind of peace are you trying to build? This question reaches the deepest part of someone's inner world. Not their past, their pain, or their routines, but their direction. Their inner destination. When you ask, what kind of peace are you trying to build? You're asking them to reveal the blueprint of their inner life. Everyone builds a different version of peace. Some build peace through silence. Some through stability. Some through freedom. Some through distance. Some through connection. And some don't know what they're building at all, so they create chaos without meaning to. Peace looks different for everyone. For one, it means releasing old memories. For another, building structure. For another, finding safe relationships. For another, trusting themselves. This question reveals what they value, what they need, and what they're working toward. Stoicism teaches that real peace comes from inner order, not external comfort. Seneca wrote, "No person can have a peaceful life who thinks more about length than depth." Peace isn't how long life feels good. It's how deeply it feels right. Listen carefully to their response. Some will say they want quiet, showing exhaustion from noise or demands. Some want stability, showing they've lived through unpredictability. Some want freedom, showing they once felt restricted. Some want peace with themselves, showing inner conflict. Some say they don't know, showing a heart still searching. Whatever they say matters. Because once you know what peace someone is building, you know whether your presence supports it or disrupts it. You see whether your lifestyle aligns with theirs. You see if you can walk together without disturbing each other's balance. This question also reveals emotional maturity. Someone who knows the peace they want has done inner work. But someone who avoids the question often avoids themselves. Someone who wants peace through control may feel insecure. Someone who wants peace through isolation may still be healing. Someone who wants peace through change seeks growth. Someone who wants peace through honesty is tired of silence. Their definition of peace shows how they handle relationships, conflict, loyalty, growth, and life. If their peace needs distance, they will withdraw often. If it needs growth, they will challenge themselves and others. If it needs honesty, they will communicate openly. If it needs safety, they will guard their heart. If it needs self-respect, they will not tolerate behaviors that disturb their balance. This question reveals their future direction, whether they live intentionally or drift through life. Whether they're building a future where love and trust can grow. Without peace, a person cannot love clearly or think clearly. Stoicism teaches that inner peace is the highest form of wealth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter retreat than in his own soul." When they tell you what peace they're building, you see whether they seek refuge or create it. Their answer shows whether your presence belongs in their life or whether your paths are meant to separate. Visualize your own peace, the calm that shields you from chaos. Claim it now: I build my peace. You now hold 5 questions that can open the human mind without pressure. 5 questions that reveal truth gently. 5 questions that show who a person is beneath practiced answers. These questions aren't meant for judgment but for understanding. True connection and trust grow from clarity, not confusion. Stoicism teaches that the more we understand others, the less chaos enters our lives. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone shows me I am wrong, I will gladly change." This is wisdom, openness, awareness, courage. These 5 questions show how someone carries pain, how they hold principles, how they treat themselves, how they manage inner conflict, and what peace they build. They reveal direction, emotional language, and depth. Understanding someone's mind isn't about control. It's about alignment, knowing who fits your path and who belongs only in your lessons. Use these questions thoughtfully. Let them guide you to people who speak honestly, love clearly, and walk with the same steadiness you're building. Think about the people you allow into your life. Commit to inviting alignment, growth, and truth. Write it now. I attract the right people. And if this message resonated with you, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps bring this guidance to others who need it.